Being in the creative industry and an entrepreneur, I come across a lot of people who have great ideas, but have so much trouble actually executing them. Through my conversations with these people and my own personal experience, I've identified a few key factors as to why you're not executing on your ideas. There's a vicious cycle that we can all get stuck in when it comes to implementing or creating new ideas, and that's a cycle of overthinking everything and posing unnecessary questions. Questions that we know can only be answered through our own trial and error, but instead we research endlessly through reading and watching other videos and trying to find others who may have the answers. Meanwhile, on our quest for answers that we hope will make us feel comfortable before we do, this research begins to pose more questions. But we're so enthralled with having the right answers before we act that we don't even realize we're creating more uncertainty. Don't get me wrong, researching and educating yourself is uber important to efficiently implementing a new idea, but you have to know when to stop researching and start doing. Information fatigue is very real, especially in a day and age where all the information we need is at our fingertips. But that may be the problem. It's at our fingertips, so we tell ourselves that all the answers to our questions are easily attainable. Thus begins the vicious cycle of endlessly researching until we reach a point of information fatigue and we are too burnt out to even start our idea. So where does this desire to have all our questions answered come from to begin with? For me, it was the feeling of needing my idea to be perfect. What I didn't realize is that my perfectionism was keeping me focused on failure. See, perfectionists often feel that if they aren't perfect, then they will be seen as not being good at what they do. Perfectionists tend to interpret mistakes as equivalent to failure, and this creates a fear of criticism towards our mistakes, which can keep us from engaging in challenging experiences, like executing on our ideas. A desire for perfection produces a consistent source of negative emotions, and this can very easily lead to anxiety and depression and fear, a combination that can derail any idea and, even worse, make you feel completely discouraged and unmotivated to do anything. I have a video about overcoming feeling discouraged here. Check it out if you're struggling to find motivation. When you break it down, perfectionism is a hyper-focus on your own performance and a desire to defend that performance, keeping your mind focused on the possibility of mistakes and failure, which decreases your ability to take risk and reduces creativity, innovation, and positive thinking. So, the vicious cycle continues. You have an idea, you start to overthink it, you research for answers while simultaneously creating more questions. So, you research more until you're burnt out from information fatigue and you want it to be perfect, but you don't think it can be perfect because you feel like you don't have all the answers and you fear what will happen if it's not perfect and have essentially talked yourself into a very noisy, sad, and depressed comfort zone that you know isn't comfortable, yet you still haven't even acted on your idea. So my question to you isn't what you're planning, it's what are you planning? The late American self-help author Napoleon Hill says, first comes thought, then organization of that thought into ideas and plans, then transformation of those plans into reality. We can take this quote and break executing our ideas into 3 different phases: thought, plan, and planning. Being stuck in this cycle is part of creating the plan, but we have to realize that this plan will not turn into action without planning for it to do so. Our power is in the planning. As Dwight Eisenhower famously stated, in preparing for battle, I have always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. See, it is within the steps you take to turn your plan into action that you learn the valuable insights to make your idea a reality. It's not in the research or the hunt for answers before doing. It's not in perfecting the plan before implementing action. It's not within your desire for it to be perfect. Valuable insights come from doing, and planning is the foundation of doing. So when will you make the transition from working on your plan to planning the work? When will you choose to live with intention over impulse? Hey, if you like this video, jump into the conversation in the comments and let me know, what is your biggest hurdle when it comes to executing on your ideas? And please show your support by smashing that thumbs up and hitting subscribe. And remember, you get what you give, so give good.